No, 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 no. Where's my milkshake song? Alrighty, alrighty, boys and girls. Enough of that silliness for today. Enough of that silliness. It is Friday. I hope we're all well. How are we doing? How are we doing? I have these weird moments from time to time where I just feel like I need to put on a cow suit. Wouldn't it be funny if I press the next button and I'm dressed in a cow suit, right? Wouldn't that be really funny? Yeah, I'm not. Sorry to disappoint you. It just would be really funny, wouldn't it? I don't own a cow suit. I don't own a cow suit. Sorry, debated. It is Pizza Friday, though. Welcome in, boys and girls. How we doing? How we doing? I do have a Cookie Monster suit. And a Rudolph suit. Not a cow suit, though. Those are topics for other day. Buy one? I don't know how easy it is to buy a cow suit, if I'm honest. How we doing, though, boys and girls? We good? I don't know what we're doing today. I'm running late. I'm genuinely running late. I'm running late in terms of the fact that, I mean, I'm starting the stream on time, but I'm running late in terms of the fact I got up late, took the dogs out late. I'm only just making my coffee, barely just finished my breakfast. But it's Friday. We chill out on a Friday and a Thursday and a Wednesday, Tuesday and a Monday. So what are we gonna actually get up to today? I don't really know, to be honest. I have been quite enjoying trying to figure out how we optimize our gear any further. I need what is it called? What is it called? These funky void shardy things. What are these funky void shardy doodahs called these days? Oh, it's not a quest for these anymore, is it? It's oh, gold. Where are they? These things, ascendant void shards. 2 more of these. Maybe just bang out a couple of delves. These come from delves. Bang out a couple of delves, maybe get some hero crests for some quick cheeky delves. Do the US account thing. I need to try and find my login for my NA Battle.net account. That's the next step of that progress. No Murloc suit? No, no Murloc suit either. I would happily own a Murloc suit though. Those are cool. Welcome in A1. How we doing? Omni, welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. New PCs back in the shop. Praying to the RNG gods that they can fix it. Or give me my money back if they can't solve the problem. Oh, they'll always solve it. They'll just swap a component and it'll all work. More often, I mean, not that we're going to go into, you know, technical diagnostics here, but what was it doing? Or not doing? Because you'd be amazed how often something as simple as just taking the RAM out and putting it back in fixes shit. But, you know, computers are fickle beasts. This is kind of why having a, you know, a custom pre-built sometimes works in your favour. You can just go, oi, take it back, your problem. Where is the Bountiful's today? What we got? Partholon Plaza. Should we just go hammer that one real quick just to see what's going on? See if we can get a 4th one of these shards double time. Get some bonus crests. What am I up? What are we up to crest wise? I need 80 per piece of crafted gear, don't I? I'm at 60. I only need 20 more myth crests to craft another piece of gear. I have the 2-piece world tender set that I still need, which is considered BIS for BM hunters these days. Stuttering, lagging, FPS drops. Tried what I could, looked into forums, Reddits, tried to troubleshoot myself. Not a tech guy though. Freezing. There's so many things that could be. I'm not even going to start sort of trying to guesstimate and diagnose for you, but it's one of those, you know. It's like I said, you can give it back and tell somebody it's their problem to fix it. So, another bonus there. Do we need to do this on 11s? No reason not to do them on 11, I suppose, is it? Unless these key things are easier to obtain on a lower, I don't know, whatever. Valera's level 60 now. She absolutely slaps. I'm feeling that we just keep her on DPS mode, to be honest. Keep her on DPS mode and shit just dies so fast we shouldn't have a problem. I mean, famous last words, pre-coffee, obviously, but... most tier 11s shouldn't be too much stress now. Keep the pigeons alive. If Valera would actually kindly attack the right thing, it might help, though. Luckily, we can do maximum DPS on the move. Oh, she's just going Rambo on everything, look. She's just going full Rambo. Nice. Virgin Media has a few oopsies with a cable affecting most of the UK. That sounds like Virgin Media. Welcome in, Stro, by the way. Hope you're doing well. Odd to see you on a Friday. Good to see you all the same, though. Hope you're doing well. What causes this blessing? Day off on a Friday? Long weekend? I should really be a better streamer and stream at more social hours, but... that sounds like Virgin Media, though. What's that website? Down Detector. So, is what I use anytime something goes a whoopsie. Try and see what's going on. Yeah, Valera does an embarrassingly large amount of damage when she's fully leveled. Makes me look like a peasant in my own game. I guess it makes a change from me being the champion all the time, right? So you're on just checking in for a few minutes before the meeting. Hey, I appreciate it all the same. Don't work too hard, you know. Cause you stress. We should probably do these Nemesis dudes, because it's the Nemesis box that actually awards half of the breasts. If we're going to make use of doing these, we might as well kill these guys. Oh, pet's dead. Whoops. Yeah, coffee should be done. I need some coffee this morning. I need some brown liquid of life quite urgently. I said yesterday after the stream I was going to go cut the lawn, and I didn't. I went straight to cooking chicken wings on the barbecue. And after eating, I was like, there's no way I'm mowing this lawn today. So unfortunately, that's now today's job. So I'm going to have to squeeze in Pizza Friday and mowing a lawn. Maybe Pizza Friday, maybe a few beers, mow the lawn, then Pizza Friday, then slob out in the garden maybe if the sun's out. Need to get a robot mower. Yeah, my brother my wife's sister's boyfriend, whoever that is, family values wise. Has just bought this big stinky fancy robot lawnmower. It's pretty impressive, but their yard is much bigger than mine. Up until now, Mrs. Manthias has refused a robot lawnmower on the basis that she doesn't want it to chop up no hedgehogs. And I'm like, I'm sure they don't. I'm sure, you know, I'm sure they're clever enough to not run over a hedgehog these days. I mean, I've ran over a frog. You know, everybody who mows the lawn has accidentally run over a frog at one point. You know, it just happens. They are going to hide in the long grass, and that's going to happen, isn't it? And not move.
My eyes on you.
Reminds me I need to mow the lawn. Sorry. Shouldn't start today off with chores. Oh wait, hang on, I've got no reason to kill these guys. I was killing them just because I saw them. Save gold repairs with weapon durability changes in the next patch. Okay, cool. A repair fees, that, I mean, this is one of those things where Blizzard has done something because they feel obligated to do something. Although the reality is surely repair bills aren't that big of a deal for people, are they? Like, now, you know, millionaire goblin and all, but like, I've always wondered how people can't even afford repair bills in this game.
This is for you.
You genuinely, just by doing a few of your standardized weekly tasks, get like 10,000-15,000 gold, surely. Like, how are you burning that much gold on repairs? But either way, anything's a bonus, right? Anything's a bonus. Everybody's a bit richer for free. I mean, the other option is we just get a goat or something. I'm sure the neighbours would love that. Just had a goat knocking about in the garden, but you'd never have to worry about having long grass if you had a goat. Or a sheep. Or a cow. Or a cow. Cow's a bit big though, isn't it?
Make haste.
Daisy takes up a little bit more room. Daisy does taste good though when she's finished, if you know what I mean.
Too quick to counter.
Repair bills were starting to get a bit out of hand. It's only the first tier. 1k repair bill every few wipes doesn't seem too big compared to consumables, providing you use them, but I can see how it adds up when you prog raid. Suppose. Even one BOE drop, sell the BOE, like, you are done. Like, if all you do is raid log, surely... I don't know. Like I said, I should check my privilege with my millions of gold. Before we start dissing the poor. Going on. One of the dogs is playing swimming on the rug in the kitchen. Where are these flipping barriers? Oh, they're down there. I don't know my way around this delve. BOEs go to the guild, not you. Why is guild not paying for repairs then? Yes, it does seem to mirror real life pretty well.
I don't think so. They won't know what hit them.
Down he goes. I gotta keep these flipping pigeons alive.
Good. Take its skin.
I'm really tempted, you know, to swap out my pigeons. They fit my theme right now, but I might get the pink elephants back out again because they're just better tankiness, more tanky. Treasure map reminder, beacon reminder. Thank you. We're actually we're just doing these delves for the lols at the moment. I'm actually shooting for one of these, an Ascendant Void Shard. That's really what I'm after. We've done all of the map business, but I appreciate the reminders because I do always forget.
Breathe deep.
Running around with a bunch of bird brains. I mean, I am, yeah. I mean, these pigeons were an entire expansion's worth of repair bills, so you know, I got to use them. Shit, I've got no health. Why have I got no health all of a sudden? PoE's huge new patch is coming out today. They literally reworked the entire endgame in a patch. They must make some good money, PoE. It shows that they've got a good old, good solid business model there with the, like, play for free, like the freemium style. I mean, it clearly helps they have a remarkably loyal fan base, but after so recently playing Diablo 4, I'm not sure I'm too keen to go play any Path of Exile, but have fun to those who do. I don't really need to pick up these curios anymore, really. Companion experience don't go anywhere. Potency buffs are like meh, whatever.
Useful.
Void Light Marl is probably the only reason to pick those up anymore. How do we get... Is this the bridge in the middle here? Is the bridge in the middle? Yes. I'll bang this out, grab me coffee, because I'm parched, as they say.
Breathe deep.
Yeah, pigeons are dead in like 3 whacks. This is the problem.
Too quick to counter.
I'm almost going to turn Taunt off me pigeons and let Valera do it. That said, she is also 2/3 of the damage, so... She rips more damage than I do, so she also has more aggro than I do. She's also slightly disposable, unlike moi. Poor Valera. Literally the scapegoat.
Not quick enough. I'll take care of them.
Nice! Where do we get these shardy things from then? Which box are we getting these shards from? Heavy trunks? Negative. Nemesis strongbox. No, but we did get the hero crests, which we were after.
Let's talk.
The extra hero crests that we're after, so it must be from the main box, meaning we do have to spend keys to get these as well. Yes. Yes! That'll do. Oh, and I can't take any more of these. This flipping weekly cap on these seems like it's not necessary anymore, doesn't it? It really does.
The trust will restore our world.
Ah. Thorn needle. I could have done with that like 2 weeks ago. Alright, that's cool. One more Ascendant Void Shard, and we get a nice cheeky upgrade for our weapon then. Yes, yes. And if I calculate things correctly, what are we going to be able to get? Oh no, we'll only get 10 more myth crests. Oh, we'll also end up on only 25 hero crests, so we won't quite have enough to convert. But weird numbers here. Okay. Another Bountiful. One more Bountiful. Maybe a Ritual. Only this bonus roll. Do we want Twilight Crypts, Shadow Guard Point, or the Gulf of Memory? Shadow Guard Point is usually quite straightforward. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I in here again? Let me out. Has anybody started their dark particle farming yet? The probability to make a few quid when the patch launches. How many was it? It was 150 dark particles per box, wasn't it? Yeah, I could do with farming up, I don't know, 1,500 of these just to test with, just to play with. Nope, can't and don't care. Could be easy gold. Could be a complete flop. Entirely dependent on how many people do it. Got 2k in my bags. Yeah, I'll you know, probably gamble on a few boxes on patch day just to see. But one thing I've learned over the last couple of expansions is that there is usually so few like avenues of goal making within each patch that it's almost guaranteed that each and every one will get completely flooded. At least the fact that these are BOEs though does mean that they'll get listed on their own realms, not going on to a region wide, which might help a little bit. probably benefit slightly more the cross-realm flippers, because they'll just buy up all of the cheap ones and then, you know, syndicate them everywhere. How's the markets nowadays? Markets are not only a little bit weird at the moment, they're also highly volatile based upon the fact there is clearly a lot of botting going on at the moment. Or should I say, some sort of illicit activities, because there's seemingly floods of unnecessarily cheap materials out of nowhere. And when I mean floods, I mean like tidal waves worth of flood-like materials, which could only have been really logically acquired by quite a large operation of bots. Let me grab my coffee though quickly, hang on. So, yeah, in terms of market prices in general, I mean, they're doing what we expect them to do at this kind of point anyway, which is crash and burn. Nobody expects them to be, you know, doing anything else halfway through or on the tail end of a season. But with the clear and obvious addition of some dodgy activity going on, it's making things very difficult for crafters especially.
Question everything.
Yeah, I mean, those BOEs will also crash incredibly quickly. There's no doubt about that in my mind, but there's good long-term value in those all the same. Unique transmog items, of which some of them are actually kind of quite unique. Not just like it's the only way you can get the appearance, but they're actually kind of quite cool as well, some of them. That'll definitely help with the long-term value in them. Oh yeah, oh, pigeons off. It's fine.
Time to sleep.
So do you recommend as a crafter just holding until season 2 then? No, I don't recommend crafting. Like, well, I mean, obviously concentration, if you can profit from something, sell it. Like, I'm never a fan of this stockpile at all, because you run the risk of it not going the way you want it to go. I'm of the opinion that if you can sell something for a profit, sell it. Like, there's no reason not to, really. It is then up to you to decide how greedy do you want. You know, if you want more than today's rates and assume that tomorrow's going to bring better rates, then that's on you to decide how long you should hold for. But to be honest, in the game these days, beggars can't be choosers when it comes to profit, full stop. Like, if you can craft something and sell it profitably, then just do it, because you might not be able to tomorrow, is the way I look at it. Nobody has a crystal ball, which always makes me think that any sort of well, let me put it this way. If you are going to take the opinion of a content creator, you probably shouldn't be holding. You should probably just be selling, right? If you're going to hold, do it on your own volition. Do it because you believe it's the right idea, not because some other person on the internet has told you.
No more.
Yeah, via concentration is the only way I would really consider anybody being able to make any sizable gold at the moment. Via standard sort of crafting professions. Everything else is going to be razor thin margins and very, very, very volatile with this seemingly out of nowhere influx of large batches of cheap materials. That's the kind of thing that will mean that you might find a market that's 10% profit and think, oh, I can make some gold with this today. You buy a bunch of materials, you craft a bunch of stuff, and then some bot turns up with like 50% discount on the materials in the first place, which causes all of the crafted stuff to go way below the price you paid. It's just not... The upside isn't worth the risk. If, you know, if your crafting was naturally making you 20, 30, 40% margin, there's more, you know, wiggle room there. It's less, quite simply just less risky. But most standardized region-wide price margins, it's just not worth touching at the moment. Genuinely not worth touching. It's kind of a shame to have that opinion, like, you know, halfway through the first season, but I'm not going anywhere near it, right? It's dangerous. The best you could be doing is trying to spot these opportunities where an influx of cheap materials turn up and flip them. That's about the best option you could have. Or, you know, consider grabbing some of these cheap materials and squirreling them away. You've got some use for them, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. I would much prefer to be doing, if I was to be heavily focused on goal making, I'd be doing something way more sort of viable and risk-free. I'm convinced your standard gathering is still probably pretty good if you've got, you know, if you've been keeping up with your knowledge points on your farmers. There's no conch army this season, but there's the majestic skinning herb pouch army. Yeah, the mulching thing was reasonably well popularized. A nocturnal lotus every hour, though, you know, is by itself not fabulous. But it's the concept of scale. If you've got 10 herbalists that you can cycle through in the space of 10 minutes every hour, you can make 10k in 10 minutes, and then you might be more than willing to do it. How's transmog farming doing? Transmog farming never really changes. Transmog farming is just one of those real solid evergreen markets these days. You're never going to get millions of gold, millions and millions and millions of gold from transmog farming. But if you you do it periodically and keep your auctions listed, you will sell stuff. Time during an expansion matters very little with the transmog market.
I don't think so.
Where did Valera go? Need her to hold most of the aggro.
Can't catch us. My eyes on you.
Let's actually heal up properly for a minute. Let's keep doing it. Yeah, Majestic Hide at 5k a piece is still, you know, very much worth spinning up a few skinners if you haven't already. This is the kind of stuff I would probably recommend people do more of. You know, we're not at the point where you're making tens of millions of gold a week, hundreds of thousands of gold a week. But what we are at the point is where there are still a few things that are worth spending 20 minutes on a day. You know, a couple of characters, 20 minutes a day, something that you can bang out like real fast, but then, you know, it makes you 20k, 30k, like quickly, that you can then put down and just forget about. Pocket money kind of money, to be honest, but you get paid your pocket money every day, it does add up. But just sort of low effort, high impact stuff. So yeah, Majestics, where you get a once a day kind of go at it. The mulching system, if you've got a few herbalists that you can rotate through. Not worth doing on a single herbalist, it's not worth the login times. But if you've got 5 herbalists or something that are already positioned, the concept of this is that, like, anything, if you have to, if you've already got it set up, there's still value in doing it. The problem is, though, is if you haven't already got this stuff set up, if you don't already have a bunch of skinners, you didn't make a bunch of, like, mulching herbalists when it was, like, really profitable, how valuable is setting them up now? Probably not very. You'd still, mostly because it would take, let's say it takes an hour to set up each character to do something. It's kind of like, how much you're going to make from it right now? Probably not a lot, but the flip side, it's, you know, if you've mostly finished your gearing and you're kind of got spare time, then this maybe is the time to do some of this sort of legwork, busy work sort of stuff.
I don't think so.
We looked at lumber values yesterday. Lumber values are still incredible. Oh, I can't do it because I'm in combat, but like, lumber value was still 250 gold plus per piece of lumber. The value in the lumber is still really good. I mean, in all honesty, it's barely changed. The only significant difference between like now and like December last year was just how quickly you'll sell the decor. But it's, you know, if you farm the lumber, it's cash in the bank. It's a more friendly version than like transmog farming. Transmog farming, you basically have to consider that for every hour that you farm, you might get humongous, like, high ticket value stuff, but you also have to be very, very prepared when you do transmog farming that there's a strong chance none of it will sell. Decor sits in the middle. More of it will sell, but none of it is going to be quite as dizzy high priced anymore as like you can get with transmog. So transmog's the ultimate gamba. If you're willing to go run old dungeons or do some transmog farming and, you know, build up an inventory of almost art pieces, you know, where you really do need to find the right person at the right time and have your item listed in the right place to make the sale. But when you do, it's often pretty lucrative. Decor sits nicely in the middle of that, really, I think. And is quite evergreen, because I can't imagine Decor's going anywhere anytime soon. Blizzard's new baby. I'm actually thinking about starting a bit of a mini-series re-highlighting Decor again, because it had its big explosive boom, obviously, when it came out, but since then, most content creators and players seem to have almost ignored it. You know, we got kind of distracted by a brand new expansion launching, which of course brings bigger and better opportunities. Now we're getting to the point where we're starting to see the first slowdown of the expansion. I think it's time for Decor to kind of go, hi, I'm still here. Like, I can still make you large quantities of gold if you're willing to put in a bit of effort.
I wouldn't cross me if I were you.
People already grumbling about the store prices of the furniture, though. But it was expected. Yeah, it's because Blizzard is doing what they, you know, always were going to do, which is take the piss as much as they possibly can to find out where the limit is. What was it, like $75 or something for like a treehouse or something dumb? You know, they're going to push the limits to see where people's breaking point is, and then they'll dial it back by 2 steps, and it will sit there forever.
Make haste.
This is the one where he spawns the dude, and we kind of just need to stand by him,
Be quiet.
and it gets cleaved down. And then it disappears. Nice. Light Decor was doing work orders as a weaponsmith and inscription. Slowed down now, so farming lumber between queues fits my playstyle nicely. Yeah, if you need that sort of like keep yourself busy between queues kind of content, Decor's a great option. Pick a zone in basically any expansion ever. Grab some stuff, get it listed. Like I said, there's about... I'm going to use the number 300 for the sake of maths. I don't know if there is exactly 300 pieces of crafted decor, but there was 240-ish before Midnight launched. And of course, now the Midnight one's on top of that. There's probably close to 300 items, which for me is the absolute upper limit that anybody should really be posting on a single realm anyway. So it also kind of fits quite nicely that if you're able to collect the recipes and slowly but surely over a period of time, you know, get into the habit of once every 24, 48 hours relisting 300 pieces of decor on your realm, you'll sell a few each day. And the fun thing about all of this is it'll be a slow burn to start with, but once you've got that stock of up to 300 pieces of decor, if you go a week or two without going and farming any lumber because you're busy, but you keep up with relisting your decor, you'll still continue to sell a few of those pieces. You know, farming generally is one of those things that the second you stop farming is the second you stop making gold. And this is very common to see at the beginning of an expansion. People love farming at the beginning of the expansion when it's 50k an hour, 70k an hour, but then they stop farming, and then they come back 3 months later, and they're like, right, how do I make my token this month then? And you're like, well, now you grind 20 hours of herbalism and mining, and they're like, oh, yeah, no. And then they're just poor again. I always enjoyed crafting because it always felt like you were building something. Every recipe that you gained was effort that you'd put in that in theory could pay itself, you know, multiple times over. In practice, it's not always, you know, as perfect as that, but it's not far from. Well, here we go. Here's our first Ascendant Void Core then. Use the item... Increases the item level of a fully upgraded hero or myth to maximum quality Radiance crafted weapon or trinket. So bang it on this weapon, right? On you, 285 goes to... You must be near the Void Forge to do... Oh, okay. Okay. Sure. Currently have decor inventory to sell about 150 to 200 items across all of my selling realms. Keeping a steady minimum 500 to 1,000 lumber in inventory. Need to restock it soon. But I would also imagine that sort of, I'd imagine you sell a few pieces here and there, and that's kind of the point, right? That it's cash in the bank. Deco's had great impact on the game. People literally spent millions of gold on furniture. Add the increased cost to repair to it, and no wonder many players ran out of money. I mean, yeah, true. There's a good chance that people burnt their savings on decor for sure. Expansion seems really rough for crafting. Oh yeah, I mean it definitely is. There's without a shadow of a doubt, it definitely is. The problems with crafting have been masked by the fact that we're still at the beginning of the expansion where everything is new and nobody has anything set up yet. But time will be its own worst issue for crafting. As more time goes on, it will just steadily get... The problems will start to showcase themselves more and more and more and more and more. Even concentration crafters are now at the point where they're like, why is this not profitable anymore? Because, you know, we're already at the end, you know, the value of concentration is already at, like, end of the War Within, like, levels. And we're halfway through the first season. It's starting to happen. It's definitely starting to happen. Who buys decor anyway? I've never met anybody who actually bothers with housing. They're not, for the most part, they're probably not players you are going to meet. This is the thing. Like, decor heavily appeals to that person that is not caught up in the rat race of endgame. It's the players that, you know, they log on for a little bit. They don't really interact with that many other people in the game. They're not really predominantly focused on blasting endgame content. They're not part of that rat race. They're people that do genuinely just like to chill out in the game. You know, the people who have historically done all of the pet collecting and all of this sort of stuff. I know this is very stereotypical, but it's also very misunderstood, I think, just how big that audience of people is. Because they're not vocal about, you know, they're not the people that are predominantly watching live streams all the time. They're not the people engaging in the comment section on YouTube videos. They're not the people who are keyboard warrioring on Wowhead posts. It's the 80% of the rest of the player base that's just playing the game when it's fun. And then, as soon as it's not fun, they stop playing it. A much bigger, much larger collection of people than I think most people give credit. So this Void Core jobby, we can go on here. And this should upgrade this to 295, are we saying? Oh my. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. Well, that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. How do we get more of those then? How do we get more of those then? I could do with a better trinket before I upgrade this one, but this Glorious Crusader keepsake is A tier apparently for BM hunters, so I'm probably willing to throw a Void Core on that fella. Mythic. Shut up with your Mythic Plus. I probably care more about getting some more Myth Crests now. Which, the solution for Myth Crests for me is actually to farm Hero Crests and then convert them up. I'm 20 away from crafting something. And then it will be either one of these that we'll craft. World Tender's Bark Clasp or the Root Slippers. We need both of them to get the set piece for the actual real value. So the first one isn't really going to do much for us other than boost our item level a little bit by 9 points. It'll be the second one though, when we get the set piece, that will add the true value to it. You can bank one, and if you get a second one, even the bad trinket can get upgraded. Yeah, I'm a few weeks behind on this, so I'm clearly not at any sort of cap on these or anything. So I guess the way to get more of them is just to go back out and smash more content, right? There's a good chance, actually, I might not really worry about them too much, because I'm probably not going to do any more delves this week. I can't see any reason for me to do any more delves. There's a little bit of value, not really much. I mean, I'm probably going to just do the ritual sites from here on out. A few more ritual sites, I think, to get the myth crests. Or I've only done 4 rituals apparently this week. I mean, a 4 of 6 hero piece from the vault doesn't mean shit for me anymore, so I don't care about this too much. But rituals are pretty efficient for crests. We were testing it a little bit yesterday, and as long as I don't boo-boo, we can get ritual runs in about 10 minutes, which probably feels like the best way to quickly farm up a few crests. They're completely uncapped, so you could actually just farm endless cores. Oh, I see, okay. Well, that's alright then. It feels like crafting needs a big rework now, and this is from somebody that only got into it Season 2 of The War Within. Historically, this is the kind of topic of conversation I'd have probably turned into a video for YouTube, but I've spoke about it a bit recently. I don't really think that there's anything inherently wrong with crafting. There is some imbalances with crafting, but the main problematic thing with crafting, more than anything else, I believe, is just there's simply too many people that know exactly how it works now. And to the point of mathematical perfection. This is why nothing really ever goes above a 10% margin on any crafted item. Because the second it shows us green on either somebody's add-on or spreadsheet or Discord bot that notifies them, like, there's so many tools and features and functionality out there. The system has been so well understood and so well optimized because we've had it for 3 straight expansions now without really any significant changes. It's so well understood and so easy for people to hyper optimize. There's no surprise it's like completely crushed into the ground. The areas of the game that usually end up being most profitable are almost always the areas of the game that are new. And that's usually because the least amount of people understand a new thing. You get the people like me who research it an awful lot before it even goes live. And you get the people like a lot of you who will, you know, absorb a bunch of that information and do your own research as well. We're the kind of people that will jump on something new and, you know, extract all of the value out of it when the going's good. But we've had nothing really to get our teeth into too heavily now with the crafting system for 3 expansions in a row. It was brand new in Dragonflight. Nobody knew anything about it in Dragonflight. Fucking hell, my voice is cooked. They added patron orders, they added concentration in the War Within, which was the new thing, and surprise, surprise, the new thing ended up being quite profitable to do. Midnight didn't bring anything new to the table, which is why, like, in a matter of weeks, it's kind of like, you know, super optimized. Not only did they not bring anything new to the table, they made a lot of design decisions to try and simplify, but simplifying actually resulted in just making it easier, which I know is kind of the same thing, but it's not in a way, right? If you think about some of the things they could have simplified, they could have simplified the spec trees, for example. They could have simplified these. They could have, for example, merged these all into one big tree that's much easier to read, much easier. You know, legibility. How easy is it to understand the system? A new lick of paint to the spec trees would have been seen as a good simplification without it making it any easier. Straight chopping out pretty big critical features of the crafting system. Thaumaturgy has just been brought up, and Thaumaturgy was really good at balancing. Thaumaturgy was really good at balancing the price of things, keeping anything from getting too wacky. You look at the auction house now, and we are seeing some bananas situations on, if we look at like reagents, enchanting, these sorts of prices are just bonkers, just absolutely bonkers to be seeing at this point in an expansion. Amplify the fact that all of these things are on the region-wide auction house, so the downward pressure on price is increased even further. It's none of this is really, you know, the system we have today was fine back in Dragonflight because it was all brand new. It was all completely brand new at the beginning of Dragonflight, and people were still figuring stuff out, and there was only a small amount of people that figured it out. And the people that figured it out made a lot of gold. Now it's so easy. It's simplified so, you know, there's no barrier to entry with things like concentration. There's... I mean, some of the simplifications, one of the crazy ones that I didn't give anywhere near enough credit to, is the fact that there's no way to convert normal quality into high quality. Which has meant that you've got weird and wacky things happening. Like you've got quality 1 mana lily at 1 gold apiece, and then high quality mana lily at 24 gold apiece. This is 20 times the price. This would have never, ever, ever been possible previously. It would have never have been possible because you'd have converted one quality into the next quality. You know, that was only a small little system, but it helped keep things relative. Whereas now, Mana Lily is just stacking up and up and up and up and up, and it's got nowhere to go. Sanguithorn stacking up and up and up and up and up, and it's got nowhere to go. Something like Thaumaturgy would have come along and sort of, you know, balance this all out a little bit, keeping most materials valuable. Now, if you fly around on a herbalist, you ain't going to pick up Sanguithorn, you're not going to pick up Mana Lily, you're not going to pick up Tranquility Bloom. And this is also kind of the reason why the high quality stuff is more expensive, because people see a Mana Lily node and they're like, it's not worth me flying down, picking it up. I could fly to the Azerut node where I am guaranteed some actual gold from it. There's lots of little things that, you know, 2 expansions ago were brand new and were really good, and they made people lots of gold. But we've just had the system for too long now. I don't raid or Mystic Plus. I delve and ritual sites and open world. High five. Shh. Raid bots definitely doesn't want my BM Hunter to have the world tender set. Big downgrade for that style of play, it says. I would agree with you. The bonus isn't really that heavy for us, but it's still a, you know, it's a 9 item level jump by putting a piece of crafted gear in there. Sure, you may not necessarily need the set bonus, but you might as well have it. You might as well have it. I don't sim my gear or do anything particularly special like that, but this is like, well, you know, the belt and the boots are open slots. They don't clash with tier. I might as well, given the choice, put a piece of crafted gear in there, because without a mythic plus or a mythic raiding lifestyle, 285 myth crafted is actually a, you know, BIS players like ourselves. Standing before the auction house requires a tuxedo, not high item level. Why it allows me to still kill things faster, which all helps. I think gear crafting could offer a bit different stuff than just the same DPS stuff than PvE gear. Could mix in some new ideas, mostly for world content, some quality of life affixes, speed, some percentage more gold looted, something for delves like boosting Valyria even more. So many small possibilities. We're not sticking to just basic crit haste, etc. Thinking outside the box. I was really hoping when we saw this profession revamp, like in Dragonflight, that they would go in that direction. That, you know, I thought Dragonflight was going to be, and this really is what Midnight should have been, honestly, because when you think about it from a development standpoint, Dragonflight was implementing an entire new system. So let's keep it straightforward. Let's just focus on like crafted gear being just, you know, normal standardized DPS healing tanking gear in Dragonflight. Let's get the system working. We then went into the War Within, where they made some pretty critical changes to the craft. Getting rid of inspiration, because nobody liked that RNG. That, like, you can send me an order and you have a 43% chance of it being actually what you want. And if not, you got to send me that order again and it's going to cost you more materials. It's no surprise nobody fucking liked that. So getting rid of inspiration was a good move. Bring in concentration, as it allows for you to, you know, concentration, I believe, for the most part, was designed to help people. It's a get out of jail free card. It should allow you to craft something for somebody else at the highest quality with maybe a couple of materials of lower quality, or for you not having 100% skill in that exact craft. Now, goblins have done goblin things with concentration, and we've mathed it out and we've optimized it and we've tried to extract profit from it by using cheaper mats plus concentration. Goblins have done goblin things with it. I don't really think that's what it was designed for. But it was good that it was added. Adding patron orders, adding concentration was kind of like smoothing off the rough edges of the new system they implemented in Dragonflight. Midnight should have been this expansion where they did cool stuff with it. The system is there, the foundation is there, you know, it's had its rough edges smoothed down. Now they should have done some cool stuff with it. Added some interesting recipes. Yes, maybe sort of start considering like delve sets. Or at least sets that benefit you out in the open world only, but not in instance content. You know, they could have done more fun stuff like that, but now Midnight would have been the time to do it, but they were clearly way too busy with other stuff. Make a transmog set with a suit tuxedo. Set it to show only in the cities. I mean, I am literally running around in basically what is a you know, I've got the Matrix coat, the full black theme on the go right now. Apex cash, 18k gold. GG, you max rolled it. Good effort. Good effort. All of that said, though, I don't really know where they go with crafting. Like, I know that's not super helpful, but I don't know what Blizzard does to fix the problem now. I don't know what they do, because the biggest contributing issue, more so than anything else, is that the region-wide auction house puts everybody in the same arena, and of course, when everybody is competing against everybody else on a regional-wide level, there's only so much cream that can rise to the top, right? There's only so much profit that will only be able to be had by so many people. The simple fundamentals of a player-driven economy is that when somebody has to spend gold for somebody to make gold, so it's not really possible for everybody to win. You have to have some people that spend more gold than they make in order for somebody to make more gold than they spend. Otherwise, everything just devolves to, like, raw gold farming again, which is what we had in BFA, which was just terrible. So yeah, I don't really know where they go from here. What they should do is they should put a bunch of content creators who live and breathe this on a daily basis in a room with a couple of Blizzard devs, and we'll just figure something out. Just figure something out. We'll figure something out, and then if it don't work, it's on us. But anyway, I'm going to go do a couple of ritual sites, I think. If we can get some more crests, might be able to get another piece of crafted gear today. Where is the ritual site? Oh, it's all the way down in the arse end of nowhere, isn't it? Forget that's in. Couldn't be further away if it tried. The alternative is that I just sack off trying to get any more gear on this character, because I'm just trying to min-max it, just because it's kind of... as I can. Well, as long as they don't go the archaeology route, I'll be happy. Yes, as long as it doesn't go the way of the archaeology. I'm still going to stand on my soapbox, though, and push for similar ideas that I have for many years now. I still strongly feel that herbalism and mining should be integrated as secondary professions. Or a basic version of them should be obtainable by everybody. Having to, when you are limited to only 2 profession slots, having to take herbalism, and then the logical thing to do is to take mining as well, blocks that entire character from doing anything interesting with crafting, even if it's for their own benefit. You're dedicating that entire player to flying around picking up stuff. In a world of warbands, that feels like a very old mentality in the game now. I would love to see professions go warband wide, you know. It's a bit of a hot take. It would have to come along with some, you know, subtle changes to crafting in general, but warband wide professions would definitely intrigue me, if nothing else. Other MMOs that did more professions than just 2 main ones on characters saw their economies crashed, so no thanks. What would warband professions even mean? Well, like recipe acquisition, for example. Recipe acquisition could be definitely one that if you have a jewel, you know, your ability to craft jewels should be based upon your warband's recipe list. All of your jewel crafters can, you know, read up on that profession in your player housing library to get that same profession. You can make the law work for warband wide professions. You could then for sure consider something like a warband-wide quantity of concentration as well. Each profession. Now, your concentration armies are going to cry at that thought, quite rightly, because they're the ones that are capitalizing off there basically being no restriction to the scalability of characters. But it will be interesting to see what happens later on in this expansion when we are already seeing concentration value be that of what it was towards the end of the War Within. And we're in Season 1. There's a strong possibility that it just falls off the top of the tree, being one of the meta ways to make gold. Throughout the beta, I was frequently saying that concentration crafting is done. But that was me looking more long-term. When all of the materials crash in value, which the normal ones already are, there's only a few occasions where there's still significant difference in price. Like, alchemy is doing well weirdly now, for example, because of odd things like we looked at earlier. Odd things like oh, this is going to really hurt, isn't it? Odd things like alchemy's doing. Let me try and string a sentence together. I'm trying to do two things clearly. Alchemy's still doing reasonably well with concentration because you can take advantage of things like the mana lily issue, where there's really not that. There's nowhere for the rank 1 mana lily stuff to go, but any craft that uses mana lily at high quality is still deemed valuable enough. So there's a bit of a difference there. But professions such as enchanting are already starting to really struggle with concentration, and I've seen many people already consider, like, swapping their enchanting concentration alts to something different. They're looking for that, you know, they're looking for what is the new cookie cutter concentration setup. Jewel crafting and alchemy seems to be incredibly popular right now, as they both have recipes and they both use materials that seem to be less just broken. Alchemy potion spec, kaleidoscopic prisms, and the occasional gem cut with jewel crafting seems to be doing all right. But the options are few and far between, and people are already trying to scrape the barrel. Whereas this time last expansion, everybody was still going absolutely just like, you know, omega lols over enchanting concentration values. You know, 25 gold per point of concentration with enchanting. Like, people were still going absolutely bananas for it this time last expansion. Now people are happy as pig and shit if they can get like 3 or 4 gold per point of concentration. So at this point, maybe making concentration a warband-wide feature along with profession recipe acquisition and even recipe skill, potentially, making it so that all of your characters can pull from your profession's expertise, could be an interesting change. But I think rather than changing what we already have into a different format, we just need something new again. I think we need the creative brains at Blizzard to come up with just something new. Because it's that something new that ends up being profitable. Even, like, I'm even in two minds about thaumaturgy these days. Like, yes, thaumaturgy was very good at what it did, but the same logic would kind of apply, that thaumaturgy would also not have been anywhere near as beneficial or profitable this expansion, because it would no longer be new and everybody would already know how to use it, and the margins would be squeezed incredibly quickly because of that. It's new shit that ends up being profitable. It's always the new shit that's profitable. If you figure out the new thing before everybody else figures out the new thing, you'll make more gold than everybody else. Every single time. No problem with the enchanting conks, but leather, blacksmithing, tailoring, engineering. Yeah, they all suffer from the same issue, which is that the value of the normal quality and high quality materials is not different enough within those professions for there to be any real value for concentration to add. There can be a difference in value between them, but you know, if it's not a number, if the difference in value between normal and high quality is even 10 gold, you're then really hoping that that craft is going to use 20 of those materials, so you get a nice multiplier. That was mostly the reason why enchanting was really good last expansion, because one single enchant had used like 70 materials or something bananas. And so whatever difference in price there was getting multiplied by 70, and that concentration all of a sudden was very, very useful and very, very profitable. A lot of professions have had the amount of materials that they consume on a per craft basis nuked. Absolutely nuked into the ground. That's part of this simplification process, clearly. These are just poor balancing tuning, unfortunately. But I don't know how Blizzard comes up with its numbers for like material quantities. I don't know how they do it. Like whether they actually just fucking pick a number out of a hat. Or whether there is some sort of statistical analysis done based upon expected sort of material farming, and I don't know. I don't know how clever their system is when it comes to putting a number to this sort of stuff, or whether it's just like, oh, this recipe feels like it should use 7 dust. I don't know. But there was a very strong general overview, like overall opinion of professions that they were for some reason using way less raw materials per craft than they did last expansion, which is a major contributing factor to why everything's got so cheap so quick. Because 1,000 ore in the War Within might have got you 15 gems. 1,000 ore in the War Within is all of a sudden getting you 45 gems. And there isn't a monstrously huge increase in the amount of people looking to consume gems. So, hey presto, less ore needs to be farmed. Less ore is being consumed. You know, it's all linked. It's all correlated. It'd be really, like I said, it'd be really cool to be sort of fly on the wall at Blizzard to see how they come up with this stuff. How do they decide? How do they decide how many materials a certain recipe is going to obtain? How do they, you know, are they genuinely testing and analyzing? Just, are there people in Blizzard's QA team that are tasked with flying around doing hours of farming in order to calculate how many materials are obtainable? Do they, you know, do they apply economic statistical models to this to calculate it, or do they literally go that one? Like, I worry it's the latter sometimes. In the end, the issue is people are way too happy farming for pennies or botting. Margins will always go low at some point, but if materials were more expensive, it would still be kind of fine. I've said it many times, but this is why Decor's actually quite an elegant system. Decor's quite elegant because lumber. Lumber being warbound, lumber being not tradable, makes lumber very difficult to calculate a true value for. This sort of this creates a bit of a veil over the crafting costs of decor that isn't, you know, 2 herbs plus 1 vial has a very distinct mathematical number attached to it, whether you base that off market values or whatever. But lumber being warbound has the effect of blurring how much it all costs. And it also forces an element of effort into the crafting by the crafter. That's the important thing. It requires effort by the crafter to make anything. Which kind of like, I don't know how many of you have ever heard the IKEA furniture theory. Of that when you build something yourself, you deem it more valuable. Like people, even though IKEA furniture is very much on the cheap end of the scale as furniture goes, people often value it quite highly because they build it themselves. They take it home in a box and they build it themselves. This is the IKEA theory. And it kind of applies to decor. That people, when they create the decor themselves, they've spent time farming it. They've probably either bought or farmed up some bonus materials. They know that they've put time and effort into leveling up the profession and getting the recipe to do it in the first place. All of these things people attach value to, even if it's kind of like, you know, something that's done sort of almost subconsciously. Whereas anybody looking to mass craft flasks, it's purely maths, right? People mass crafting flasks or potions on a weekly basis, it's merely a mathematical problem. They know exactly how much their materials are costing them. They know how much gold they have. They know what they expect to then sell those flasks for. It's purely maths. It's purely business. The decor market sort of, you know, is a little bit more elegant for prices being a little bit more varied. People put a little bit more value on material items that they've farmed themselves. So this is why I'm a big fan of the way that they put decor together. How we doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. You've caught me on a bit of a TED talk. That tends to happen all too frequently when I'm just running around doing delves or something, but...
Greetings, sir and or ma'am. Fine, leave. I was done talking to you anyway.
7,200 abundance a week, 9 fused vitality a week. Why? Yeah, where did the number 9 come from? Who came up with these flipping numbers? I think Midnight in the War Within is very similar. It's a bit easier in Midnight, but not enough to crash everything. Also, people getting into it from the start this time round. Well, the barrier to entry is almost 0. It's a twofold issue, isn't it? The barrier to entry is basically 0. And everybody's gone into it with an understanding of what they're going to do already. There were so few people that really even paid any attention to concentration until the videos started creeping out of, like, you know, people making tens of thousands off a single character with concentration very, very quickly, right? Most people were completely oblivious to concentration going into the War Within. This time round, people were not only very aware of it, they had spent months leveling alts in preparation for it, right? So the level of understanding of something like concentration was monstrously higher this time round. And they reduced the barrier to entry to, like, nearly nothing, right? You no longer needed X amount of knowledge points to, like, reach rank 2 to use concentration to hit rank 3. You literally get the recipe and you're done. GG. You don't need tools, you don't need skill, you don't need nothing. You pick the profession and you do what you need to do to get the recipe, which is often just, like, level it to 50. Like, 2 minutes work. 200 gold's worth of materials. Job done. Well done. You're off to the races. So, you know, add those two factors together, it's not really of any surprise that concentration is crashing and burning incredibly quickly this expansion compared to last. Like what I was saying earlier, it's no longer the new thing. Everybody already knows how to do it. Everybody already knows how to optimize it, and it becomes purely a business transaction. It's purely a maths problem that has been solved. There's nothing new to figure out. There's nothing new to optimize. People have already done it. You know, the game's over before it started. Decor's the new thing. And it's hence why I'm pretty confident that those who level their old professions, get comfortable farming lumber, you know, get themselves into a bit of a routine with crafting and selling this decor, will see very, very steady, consistent gold over the entire expansion and for probably years to come. Because at least right now, it's the new thing. And it's the new thing that everybody seems to be mostly ignoring. Oh, wait, hang on. Have I missed one? Oh. Ooh. Missed one. Yeah, so much for my 10-minute runs when I'm yapping. Yapping and not even killing half the mobs I'm meant to be killing. One in here that I must have completely missed. Oh, where? I'm just going to feign death on all of this in a minute. Good thing that lumber can't be bought in the auction house. It's the critical aspect that holds value in it. This is why they shouldn't make... they shouldn't make lumber tradable. Nor should they... I mean, it being warbound is fair enough. You can trade it between characters. You can have, you know... You should be able to farm it. But, like, there should be no player-to-player trading of lumber. If they allowed you to put lumber on the auction house in any way, shape, or form, it's GG for decor. It would be done. Because then that would be what would turn it into just a business transaction, a maths problem. And then it would be a 1% margin thing again. Well, don't get sucked into that. What is it this time? It's this dude. This dude's annoying. Especially annoying when I have no health. If I really needed gold right now more than I make with flipping, I'd do decor probably. Well, I'm at between decor coming out and the launch of Midnight, I probably did about 20 million gold, and that was mostly flipping decor. That wasn't really crafting it. But I was able to do that based upon the fact that I had a huge amount of gold and was willing to risk it buying the decor to flip it in the first place. I wouldn't have been able to do that without probably 10, 15, 20 million to spend on it in the first place. Ow. Flipping everything is spawned at once here. Oh, for God's sake. Hang on, this boss drives my brain cuckoo. We should heal up, actually.
I've seen things that would scare
This is it's.
shellers.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about these rituals, but it's often the mob you have to kill before the final boss. That like it's the jellyfish in the other one that's the complicated one. This dude is highly annoying because I have to be right up his ass for the purpose of the orange balls that he spits. Because if they touch the ground, they go boom, and it really fucking hurts. But I also can't be in his shadow breath, which is very poorly telegraphed. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I couldn't get to that because of the nebula thing. It just stings. Oh, okay. Did I, once again, not actually repair my gear? I think I've mounted up about 15 times to try and repair my gear.
Come back with some better stories.
And you're acting on all of the EU. I mean, it's flipping, isn't it? I was buying stuff where it was worth buying it from, selling it where it was worth selling it to. This expansion, people will figure out that farming decor, crafting and selling it is way more gold per hour than jewel gathering. Jewel gathering will always have its place, though, because it's almost instant gold, and it's very mathed out, so that you basically know exactly what you're getting into before you get into it. That's like the big advantage of jewel gathering. That's why it will always have some sort of value. Am I in combat with something? Why am I in combat with something? Right, can I actually just kill this dude properly now? Let's... Ow. Alright, there we go. Not quite as annoying as the jellyfish, but not far from. At least it's the only mob in here that actually gives me a headache. Destroying the pillars makes it much easier. Yeah, I know. This is... I'm actually... It's probably, once again, the only mob where I'd consider actually going out my way to kill the pillars for first. Yes, you're right. I'll pick up these 2 chests. They're right here. I realise I neglected that completely. Between me and the hubby, we have 4 to 5 crafting professions suitably ready to craft stuff. Thanks for the idea. Yes, you're right. Just getting the monthly tokens should be our end goal. Now we want to be millionaires. It is slightly addictive. Once you figure out something that works for you, there's no denying it. Kind of it is quite addictive, but.
My flames overwhelm you.
But honestly, I'm going to showcase it a little bit and, you know, put my money where my mouth is a little bit. Not that I'm the biggest fan of farming, but this is the reason why I've considered going over to, you know, spinning up my NA account to do it. I have so many excuses why I don't ever farm on EU, because I already have lots of gold here, and I just feel dumb farming when I've already got lots of gold I could use instead. Like, on the EU, I am much better off flipping decor. There's no reason I should really be crafting it, because I've already got a shitload of gold and I'm comfortable flipping it. and can make more that way. But if I spin up my NA account, it should hopefully be a bit of a showcase to people that you can spend a bit of time farming some lumber, keep an inventory of it, keep some stuff crafted, and, you know, get those steady sales from it. Get those steady sales from it. And, you know, you can employ some tactics that are a little bit more out there to optimize your profits. Anybody know if the decor recipes drop from the bountiful heavy trunks or just heavy trunks? I can say that I have basically almost never found recipes from these from the delves. I've not run humongous quantities of them, but I think I found a recipe like once. It seemed to be actually quite rare. So unfortunately, I don't have your answer. I need 15 more crests. I think I need to do one more. Yeah, I definitely prefer the ritual in Eversong Woods. I've got that one a lot more figured out. That one's a lot more standardized in my brain. Yeah. Also, farming this on something like a bear tank would be so funny, because you could probably just pull the entire thing and just YOLO the whole thing. Like, for the purpose of farming the what they call the fragmenty doodahs, dark particles. I reckon I should just spin up a guardian druid, shouldn't I, and gear him up. With how easy gearing is right now, I should probably put some effort on my druid to do that. Because that could just be funny. I have the habit of, like, doing all of this on my main, because it's always been my main, but this sort of stuff would be much better on. Good. Because I'm led to believe that Guardian Druids just don't die. Leatherworking mount recipe would have made some gold. Oh, that's true. I'm still kind of partly in here in case that drops. There's a rare back here that I don't think I've ever seen. I'm not sure the extra time and effort it's going to take to take down enough of these boosty pylon things that it will make it worthwhile. Even taking a uncalculated death on that annoying mob is probably quicker than killing a few bonus mobs. But, you know, the particles are helping. killed 2 more mobs attached, so it's probably you two, right? Food would be a great main for you. My biggest problem is I've just never really liked the druid class. As somebody that's always been pretty into goal making, you kind of end up with a druid regardless. But I've kind of never really liked the druid class, if I'm honest. If I'm... Oh, double rare. Wait, hang on. Yeah, I've never really found one of the druid specs that just gels with me. Weirdly, I probably like Resto more than any of the others. If I was to do any healing, it would probably either be a shaman or Resto druid. I've missed that flipping boss again in here, haven't I? Really not paying attention today. Really balls in this up. Shaman or Holy Paladin, Resto Druids aren't that performant. I see, this is the thing. I couldn't care less about performance. Genuinely couldn't care less. Because I don't play in arenas where my performance is compared against others. So I'm out. More than happy to... In fact, do those things even hit hard enough for me to care about them anymore? I guess they probably do. Yeah, I just kind of weirdly enjoy the Resto Druids bouncing around, dropping dots and that sort of stuff. I don't know why, but Tranquility is one of my favourite spells in the game. Just doing the tree wiggle. It's just, I don't know, it's just cool. Holy Paladin has never appealed to me. Even though I mained a Paladin for a few expansions. Stupid rocks. This buffing flipping everybody. Yeah, just try and take it out anyway. I actually don't mind these rituals, you know. I'd be quite... There's rumours of a third ritual site in Haranir, isn't there? I think splash screen, like loading screen or something, and a map has been data mined. Yeah, I don't mind these rituals. Only healer I ever had fun playing was the Evoker, flying around everywhere, zipping about the map and just kind of vomiting on people. Yeah. Evoker's such a weird class, you know. Kind of, it kind of doesn't feel as if it gets, I don't know, it almost feels like Blizzard's abandoned it. I mean, I know it's just had the new spec and all, but still, no. Maybe I've got the wrong impression of him. Ally tank's the easiest. I've always enjoyed prop paladin. I like the paladin class generally. You know, just spinning, whirring, just like consecration's just a cool ability. It's often you know, for me, paladins always had just some quite cool animations to the class. I mean, wings is just fucking iconic, isn't it? Tier 6 coming next patch. Wonder what rewards they give. Tier 6, the main advantage is it drops 5 myth crests natively. And of course, it's 5 myth crests and probably also... I can't remember. I could check my VOD and double check it. We did some testing of it. It was 5 myth crests by default. If it gives you 10 hero crests as well, it's a nice little bump. Because of course, by the time you care about myth crests, you can probably convert up to myth crests as well. So the hero crests are still useful. Which is actually what I'm farming now. It's just, yeah, ever so slightly better rewards. Still only counted as, well, at least when I tested it, still only counted as 4 out of 6 hero for the vault. So no different to a tier 5 run. Ow! You got me. Oh, actually hadn't killed the big dude. Whoops. Ow! Cock. Tab targeted. Flipping more enemies. Shoot. Oh, why does my interrupts not work on him half the time? I swapped from ret to prot for rituals. Better than my bear and warrior. What good for these, is it? I've heard some relatively negative things about prot paladin this season. But I guess, you know, the negative press classes get usually is like, how do they compare in Mythic Raid? But for stuff like this, you know, probably still pretty fun. Can this dude get off my ass? Oh, I've pulled another friendly, and now I've pulled the boss. Whoops. This is going to end very badly. Unless I target somebody down. Oh, no, I'm absolutely dead. Whoops. Whoops. Hate to self-promote. Feel like I found something on the PTR that might be of interest to you, potentially. Welcome in, Dan. Talk to me. Is it actually the Profession Respec NPC yet? People are desperate for that damn thing to turn up. Opium delves and rituals. I might switch. I'm gearing up my paladin a little bit, so I might give him some ritual love. We'll see. No. I really have taken the scenic route to this, haven't I? Whoops. Should have just gone the other way. It would have been twice as fast. You can spend more dun-duns once you get a ton of currency from one run instead of doing it. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, that is absolutely music to my ears. So much so that I'm very tempted to jump on the PTR and have a little bit of a looky. Yeah, that's if that's the case, that's like genuinely great news. Abundance is one thing I didn't test when I looked at the PTR last week. I never even thought. To the PTR! We'll get it loaded. We'll have a look in a second. I'll finish this run and then we'll load it up and go and have a look. If so, that's very cool. Appreciate the heads up on that one. You'll make a lot of people pleased. Use an alt so we can see that the tree is account wide as well. The tree? What tree? Oh, the Omnium Falafel tree or whatever it's called. Omnium Folio. Oh yeah, ouch. 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 Many ouches. All the ouches. God bless green balls. Just as I have to go out for IRL. If it's if it is true, not to steal Mr. GM's thunder here, but it might be newsworthy of me making my comeback to YouTube. There's so many people that would be very pleased to hear about that. Where's the oh yeah, the last dude's downstairs, isn't it? Let's kill some of these fellas. Right, let me massive brain the rest of this really quick then. What do we got one more dude down here that we got to kill. Then the stupid pigeon, and then the final boss. Jellyfishes and pigeons, the bane of my life at the moment. There were worse banes to have though, let's be fair. Interrupt you. That was a bad time to use my interrupt. God bless frost traps. Okay. 3 bosses to go. These things hurt if they go boom. Fine. Does everybody make their pulls look as chaotic as I do? Oh, that was terrible disengage. Oof. Messy, but it works. If it works, it's all gravy. Right. Fire pigeon, then the boss. Yeah, he's still being amped, isn't he? We'll just face tank him and hope for the best. Dropping a ball right where he breaths is just rude. Just rude. In 1. Now, see, if I could do that every run consistently, we could actually bang out 10-minute runs of these.
I would hear your screams. My flames overwhelm you.
Save the Do I need to interrupt anything here? Not really.
There's no hope for any of you.
Focus the minions, because some of them are actually pretty brutal.
Quick-willed filth. My flames overwhelm you.
It's too much going on at one time.
There's no hope for any of you.
Sorry, I'm locked in right now. I like my voice, my mouth stops when my brain works. I can only operate one at a time.
My flames overwhelm you.
Just nuke his ass now. Down he goes.
How it feels.
Nice. 150 field accolades, 451 void light mile. Actually, are we Cooking a ritual site box. We are. This is 1500 Void Light Mile as well. And I think there's some crests in there. Let's go back to town, hand that in, and then maybe jump on the PTR, I think. Oh, I need a character that... I might take my paladin over there. We might need to do some shard farming on retail to copy a character over that's then got shards. Yes, that's the play. Because I've already burnt all my Dun shards this week on my main. Although we'll have a look. We'll have a look. Renown box. Renown box. Renown box.
Power attracts power.
One of you.
True power lies within us.
Oh, these are only veteran crests. Stinky. The 1500 Void Light Mile, though. We take that. Flipping ATT seems to think we need 300,000 of the stuff, so we'll take any we can get. Let's do a cheeky bit of crest conversion. Do we have enough for our next piece of crafted gear?
We are united in purpose.
Whoa, not the downgrade ones. Careful now. One of you, two of you. Oh, okay.
Until next time.
I think that's cash money already.
How fare you? In unity, find strength. Be bold. Be true.
Beautiful. 80 Myth Dawn crests. That's another piece of crafted gear. Do we want to do the... I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? I actually don't have either of these recipes. We got any leatherworkers online with these recipes? Preferably in the guild. What's the damage on the recipes? Leatherworking ones, aren't they? Ha! No surprise I've got the cheap one that comes from Delves. 60k or 110k. Oof. That's an oof. Where do these come from? Where do they come from? Oh, it's a raid recipe. Raid recipe and Delves heavy trunks. Well, there we go. That's proof, isn't it? We were talking about these earlier, that you would expect these to be relatively cheap if they just drop in Delves, but clearly the drop rate is stupid low. Root slippers. Was that the expensive one? Yeah. Yeah, the one that supposedly drops in Delves, which you would assume is cheap, is definitely not. That could be... I mean, we play on Draenor, so there's going to be a few people that have it for sure, but I'll offer it out to the guild first. Let's do a track recipe. Let's get some mats. Do I even need any mats? Void tempered scales, 125. Void tempered leather. Some of you. Dindori bandings, 2 of you. And then infused. The There's nothing extracurricular I need with these, do I? What are we enchanting boots with these days? Lynx's dexterity. Grab one of those. Right, let's place an order.
Are you planning a purchase?
Armor, mail, boots, worn tenders, slippers. Max everything. Oh wait, hang on. 2 sparks. Some of you. Is that right? Is that everything? Why does that say 272? Oh. 285, there we go. Somebody's in the guild got the recipe. Many appreciates.
Return when you
Okay,
need more.
that will turn up soon. Right. Should you use missives as well? No. There wasn't the option on that one. I think they're fixed stats. Fixed stats on the set. Right, let's jump on the PTR. Let's get that loaded. Have a little look at this cheeky little find. 1207, go. Let's see if when I transferred this character over, if he has any Dun shards. If not, I might need to farm the Dun shards on my paladin. Transfer him over. Because I ain't farming Dun shards on the PTR. If I'm doing it Burma. Do we have Dun shards? No. Boo hiss. Okay. Let's try again. Let's pray the paladin's got some Dun shards. If I stack the paladin up with Dun shards, transfer him over, we want to test it a few times, we can just recopy the character over then. A quick break is actually a cracking idea. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, going to grab a drink, and then we'll have a look. Back in 2. Alrighty. Turns out me paladin doesn't even appear to have dun shards. Trust me to not have a character with dun shards on. Let's fix this problem. We just go farm some treasures real quick. Yeah, we'll just go farm some treasures real quick. Why does it say +6 next to the name? I don't know. I hate these dun shards. Oh, I did. Oh, this character's actually already done 2 of his runs. Ew, gross. That will also copy that across. I need a bare naked character, one that's done nothing. One that's done nothing and okay, next character. I'm not taking the mage before anybody says. Right, some Doritos, it's up to you. We can probably go and have a little bit of a looky. Where is the abundance right now? Zulaman. Does it say anything on tooltips or anything for these? Offer an abundant location to be rewarded with unalloyed abundance after the harvest. Doesn't say anything more there. But I don't have stinky bright potions on me either, do I? No. Oh, the lag. Hello, game? Oh, it's thinking about it. Loading. Still the same going on here. Oh, shit! Well, there we go. Abundant harvest, a ×2, a ×4, a ×8. Oh, well, there we go. Yoink. Well, that's cool. That's cool for sure. That's definitely a win. The question is, does it make it any harder? Does it make it any more complicated? I guess this is kind of what we were talking about the other day, that it's just purely that risk reward, isn't it? That, you know, the last thing you want to do is use all 8. Last thing you want to do is use all 8 and then have a 600 run. But the fact that most people can do a 900 run pretty reliably, even solo. Okay, well that's cool. I still need some dun shards then on this fella. He hasn't got any Dun shards, but he needs them, so let's go and get some. Let's grab 8 shards on this dude so we can copy him over. Not got great gear, but copy him over and give it a go. Yeah, we need treasures and stuff on this dude anyway. I'm glad it's just a straightforward, easy UI element that you know, don't have to do any wizardry with it. This is one of those changes, right, that is both going to get a whole bunch of like, woohoo, but it's also going to get a huge amount of, I've been fucking farming abundance for 3 months now, and now they change it. You know, there'll be, the grumpy sailors will come out on this one for sure. I mean, the irony is that I am also right on the cusp of basically not having to worry about abundance again, at least on my mains. But it takes a 24-minute adventure into a 3-minute adventure each week, so it's a massive win in my books either way. Where's the treasure? It should have been an on-release change. Oh yeah, exactly. This is what it will be. It's one of those kind of like, grr, why hasn't this come sooner? But they're listening, at least. Let's not forget, they are at least listening.
Face your flames! Face your flames! You're empty of fire if you never face your own flame.
3 for 3? Yeah, it's beautiful. Next complaint will be that these Dun shards are too hard to get each week. I've kind of sort of ended up in the routine of that I'll only go and do my Dun runs when I cap out at 8. If I don't cap out at 8 for the week, I'm probably not. Let me put it this way: I don't put any effort into getting the Dun shards. Treasures, whilst looking for the, profession knowledge treasures, usually gets me a handful of them. And also there's the patron order goodie bags. So I've ended up in a bit of a routine where I accidentally have 8 just kind of by doing other profession stuff at least once every 2 weeks anyway. So I've never really found them too difficult. But yeah, if you're trying to target farm them, sometimes they can be a bit annoying. Although I've had 5 in 5 minutes right now. Oh, that's one I... Oop, that is one I can get. Where have you gone? I need one more treasure, because of course we can get 2 by picking up the weekly quest. I've luckily seemed to have hit Zulaman at a time where all the treasures are up, so fortunately it's been quick and easy. Never don't pick up a lumber. If we can do it in one run and only need the 1k, the raid groups might not be necessary anymore. True. Big true. Come on, one more treasure. Oh, come on, game. It's like the profession treasures. Soon as you only need one more, they just don't spawn. Yeah, I've got both the alchemy ones, though. That's a win. I don't really care about the engineering ones. I wasn't the only one looking for this. You watch, I'll fly all the way up there now, and I won't find a single treasure en route. Kind of banking on finding a treasure as we get there. With the dun in. Here we go. Here we go. Get ready. Stream of luck. Ah, son of a... Treasure. Oh, for God's sake. Never lucky. I need the full 8 so we can test a full 8 run. Oh, that's a rare. What's the dun change? Oh, you can just use 8 shards in a time. So you don't need to do 8 runs anymore, you just need to do 1. Obviously you're risking all 8 shards. If you balls up the run, then you've lost everything, but I think for most people they'll take that risk. I'm farming up some shards to copy the character over to at least test to see if it works. I would like to see a full, what's it, 7,200 unalloyed abundance in one run. What if it eats up 8 of your shards though? But then 1,000 isn't good enough to get the 900 points then multiplied. What if it allows you to eat up more shards, but then you actually do need to put in like 8 times the performance in one run? That would be the Blizzard butt, wouldn't it? Hey, we got our 6 dun shards though. Right, let's go grab the 2 freebie ones. Then Ranthius makes an appearance. It'll be one of those, this is why we can't have nice things kind of situations. Hey, let's not curse it. Let's just let's not curse it. Where's abundance on live? Over there. Didn't do abundance in forever. I mean, most people I engage with about the system are of relatively similar opinion, which is that they, you know, they did it for as long as they could physically manage it mentally and then just peaced out.
The Twilight Blade are sabotaging our lumberyard again.
But finding the 8 shards and then doing 24 minutes of like pure almost AFK runs was enough for most people to have stopped doing it by now. But this at least should
deal in the most exotic goods. You have fine taste, Ashura.
right. This dude's now got 8. Let's teleport him to the PTR for some testings. If the 8 shards give 7,200 in one run, I feel my alt's getting epic tools soon. I'll at least get it done every week then. That's the thing. Most crafters understand that by the time we step into Season 2, for any hope of there being any profit, the requirement will be for you to have all of your epic tools. You know, it's because if you don't, somebody else does, and that means somebody else has an advantage over you. Let's log this dude out. And transfer the other guy over. Ranthius should be the main. He's the guild leader of Manthius Arbitrage Limited. He's not my main played character though. He's not. He's still only level 80. Bless him. Right, copy character over. Right, please have the 8 shards. I'm wondering if I need to do the copy account data thing for it to bring the 8 shards as well. Aha, 8 shards, beautiful. Beautiful. Right. Let's fix this atrocity of a UI real fast. That one off. We need to fly over this way. Hang on. I need to keep like a handful of stinky bright potions on every character just by default. Because it's always nighttime on the PTR for me. It's recording footage like basically impossible. Odds on there being stinky bright potions on the auction house. You have not collected this mount. What do you mean I have not collected this mount? Oh, the copy account data thing has clearly worked fantastically well. Sure. Jar of sun-warmed sand. Oh. No, I don't think I do. I genuinely think you've told me this before as well. Jar of sun-warmed sand. Oops. No. I absolutely need to go get that. I'm pretty sure you've told me about this before. Oh well. Well, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, right, let's give this a go. Let's see if it actually... We can absorb all 8 in one go. This is hella risky. Now let's kill things. Oh, you know what's double risky? Is I haven't even got my action bars set up properly. Drag that down here real quick. Right, we need to get 1,000 points in the next 3 minutes. No. The timer was there. I just had it all hidden. It's fine. Right. Yeah, I'm going to be very in fact, I think what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to get to like 1,000 points and then actually just stop as well. Because then that will show if you actually need to just gain like a shitload of points if you use a shitload of shards. That would then mean you do kind of need a good raid group to make sure that you can like hit the 5,000 and fill it kind of thing. That would mean risking if you have to use a raid group to use all 8 shards. That's a real kiss curse, but I still don't think I'll mind if that is the case. 8:15. Oh, hang on, I haven't got long left. Quick, go kill some more stuff quickly. Oh, that should be enough. Fucking hell, I only did 600. But it did give 4,800, which 600 times 6 eighths are 48. So it does just straight up multiply. It does multiply, which is good. So you can, in theory, bang out all abundance ones in one. But don't do what I did, which was accidentally do a 600 run. Oh, that's cool. That's 151 coffer key shards and 160 void light mail as well, by the way. So you don't lose your coffer key shards either. That actually makes it, if you are the kind of player that sometimes actually runs out of these. I've never run out of a coffer key shard even once on any of my characters, but if you do run out of coffer key shards, an 8 abundance run is actually quite a quick way to get a couple of keys quickly. I wonder if they included a catch-up system too. No, it's still a weekly maximum of 8 consumed dun shards. There's no catch-up system, but you can at least blast all of them in one go. Which is cool. That's definitely good to know. Let's delete this character now. You abandoned the quest. I didn't even complete the quest.
Everything is of the finest quality. Amani quality.
Abandoning the quest and taking it again would probably fall under the category of a bug if it... Yeah, didn't get any. Yeah, they're way ahead of you on that one. Way ahead of you on that one. That's cool. That's definitely a appreciated quality of life change. Still have to farm the shards, but you can burn all 8 of them at the same in one go. And as long as you do the 1,000 points, as long as you reach, what is it, tier 2 in your run, you're guaranteed the 900, and then that multiplies for all 8 shards. Let's delete this dude. Drag him in again. Copy character, Europe. So yeah, the need for raid groups is probably non-existent now. Assuming you are comfortable enough to do a proper run. Entirely solo. I think you'll probably find there'll still be some people that will... I like that they've staggered it. You can use 1, 2... What was it? 1, 2, 4, or 8? Is that the denominations? Because if you're in any way, shape, or form concerned about maybe not hitting the 900 points solo, you can at least sort of, you know... Yeah, having these two is useful. That, you know, if you want to just YOLO it and risk all 8, you can do it in one run. But it works. It's good. It's good, it's good, it's good. I'm going to leave this character here for the purpose of probably recording a cheeky little video on that later. I'm not going to do it now because we're live. And I'm a bit out of practice recording YouTube content, so let's not let's not go pro mode and do it whilst we're streaming as well. But definitely an advantage. Oh yeah, we can also point out that this shows that this is an account widey thing as well. Who was it that was asking that? 2 times 4 shards in a raid will probably be the way to do it. I want to see an 8 shard run with a full 1,000 points. You're going to make me burn this character again. Just purely for demonstrative purposes. You're going to make me flip in. You're going to make me sweat this out just to prove a point. Oh, it's still got the bug where your pet doesn't follow you. That's nice. Just clip this video for the run so you don't need to do it twice. I don't locally record my streams anymore. So I'll have to do it again anyway because I'll want it in nice crispy 4K. I used to locally record all of my streams, but when we were having graphics card issues, I stopped doing that. $9.90. Right, there's 1,000 points. Go hand this in. £1,000 tier 2. We should be good. With a minute to spare. Easy business. Right, if that doesn't get us if that doesn't get us 900, then something's wrong. Boom. Boom. It's also worth having as a screeny screen. Nice. Nice. Well, that will be the new way that we do that on a weekly basis then, which is cool. This abundance change means everybody will be getting epic profession tools, meaning prices will drop even more. No, not really. It doesn't actually change the system in any way, shape, or form. It's just the quality of life of that you don't have to basically AFK for 24 minutes to get the job done. It's just saving you a little bit of time. To be honest, for a lot of people, gaining the damn shards in the first place is a bit of an annoyance. I think Goldston already pointed out earlier, the next question will be is that these damn shards are too hard. These dun shards are too hard to farm for. But also just showcase, you fly around and you pick up some treasures, you get 6 of them, you get the quest, it's pretty easy. Pretty easy. Everybody who wanted epic tools already has epic tools already. Well, my main character is like 1 fused vitality away from having all the epics completed, but my alts, like, haven't. Not for both professions. Because the amount of fused vitality you need to fully equip all of the epics across 2 professions and get your fishing rod and get your cooking hat or whatever is actually quite a lot. Almost done on all my profession alts. But yeah, the reality is that by season 2, the expectation to see any sort of profit will be to have your epic gear in place. This just means it's you know, it's a nice quality of life. Yes, I agree with everybody else. It would have been really nice if it was in at launch, but better late than never, which is cool. More people will buy the material bags, which in turn will lower the prices. I think that's one of those on paper, in theory, yes, situations, but it's probably... I think the material bags that come from Dun-Duns are an absolute drop in the ocean compared to everything else. But right, that's cool. Due, wasn't it? No, 1207. The next patch we get in a couple of weeks. We don't have a 12.1 PTR yet. Right, that's cool. Let's get retail back open. Actually, I'm not even too sure what else there needs to be done. I'm very tempted, boys and girls, to be honest, to leave it there for today. We've had a couple of longer streams this week, and if I'm going to record this video, I'm a bit out of practice with the whole YouTube shenanigans, so I might actually leave it there for today. I kind of got done what I wanted to get done anyway. Boys and girls, I am quite busy over the weekend, so you probably won't see me now till Monday. So have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Thank you for stopping by this week. we're getting back into the swing of the regular routine again now, especially if I can get some YouTube content sorted. I think 12.07 is due to launch on the 16th, so we're still a couple of weeks away from the patch actually launching. But we're enjoying it. I think this choice to go out and play the game a little bit, level up a few alts, was a good one. Take the focus off goal making for a little bit. But the temptation in me to spin up my NA account is pretty strong. So we'll see how that plays out for next week. But ads are starting in a minute, so I will speak quickly. Enjoy the rest of your week. Good luck with your drops. Good luck with your goal making. Come say hi on the Discord if you're not there already. And I'll probably catch you all on Monday, boys and girls. Have a good one. Peace.